Final hour of the trading session. Welcome back to the close. Here's a look at how things stand heading towards 4 o'clock here. S&P dead flat on the day. It is just back into negative territory once again. The Dow 0.15 to the downside. The NASDAQ trying to hold on to some positivity here, about 0.25%. Lots of individual things to talk about this afternoon, including crypto-related stocks. Still really nice gains for cryptos this afternoon. Day high, in fact, just recently there. For Bitcoin, guys, let's get into the final hour of the day.
Yes, sir. You better believe it. 47,000 on the horizon. I'll start off with Works right here because it's making another push. If you're watching the morning show, you did see this stock make some fresh highs. Well, right towards the end of the show. It's at $5 right now on the button. Well, close to on the button. It did get to $5. There was a 150,000 share offer there sitting in the book. Yeah, I'm short 96 in front of it. Scalp trade. Already got some out here in the 80s, got some bids down in the 70 range, just to see if we can't play off the 5. If 5 breaks, I'm all out of this one. And the other one that's just going gonzo here is Moderna. And shout out Brent. You're the man up there. I saw you saying 488 to the short side. I actually thought it was, this is crazy because it's messing with the scaling here. I actually thought I was about to make another test at 490 and was looking to short it here. End up missing this one, chasing it down. If it does, for whatever reason, pop back up to test that 490 level, I'll probably take it on a failed break. But there's a lot moving, including AMC, which reports, and they're at the high of the day right now. This is like the 4th or 5th time it's been testing the high of the day here, Sean.
Yeah, I haven't even been really looking at AMC, but I am pretty happy. Unfortunately, we don't have our Stream Deck still. Hopefully those will get fixed soon, but we're busy around here, but we don't have Stream Deck. But look at Draftkings. So we're saying hell yeah to this one as we are still long 51.37, so $1.50 now in the money. And it's a real trade, man. I told you we put on shares, same amount that we had here, and then just been taking them out all the way up, and now we're at this high again, 52.80, so a nice little rebound. And remember I told you guys on the morning show that we'd be looking at a stock, Draftkings, that had a chance to take it back to the upside there. So that's what we're looking at. Pretty happy with the way Draftkings has turned out so far today. It's still going to be negative for me on the day, but battle back nicely here to make a little money back. And from one meme stock to another, a hood, in my opinion anyways, downside, we still have these shorts on. I'm still waiting for it to break 56. Hopefully that can happen soon, but we're at 57.90 right now short. And then I have, this is one that I've just left on a little bit here. This is still Facebook, waiting to see what we do around this 361. So we're getting closer and closer to that one. We're flat on our Facebook trade. So far so good today. But yeah, was a sketchy morning, but now a little bit better. As Palantir, wow, up 6%. We'll talk about that.
And another one to talk about here is Vaxart, VXRT. It's been 1, 2, 3 times, not 3 times a lady, 3 times up here at 990. 992 is the current high. We'll call it $10 on Vaxart. The volume is tapering off a little bit here, guys, and it is worth noting on the daily chart. You did have like this next bag holder level right at 10, so it's not a random even dollar level that it's getting to. If it gets any closer, kind of like Works, I'd probably want to wait till the actual price range to put that short on. Works was topping out at 480, so if it gets into 10, I'll take a shot. I think both could possibly break out to the upside. Works is doing more volume, so right now the break looks better there if it reverses. But Brendan's got a name for us. What do you have, bud?
A Alzheimer's related mover, guys. Cortexzyme, CRTX. I was just noticing this is actually a small cap. It's under 2 billion anyways. But $90 stock just made a day high there, up 34%. They reported earnings pre-market. That earnings report included an update on their trial for their Alzheimer's related treatment that apparently was going better than expected. So a big day here for CRTX.
I would hit a key like out of the confetti or something, because any company doing an Alzheimer's drug that has positive news, we're going to be happy about 100%. With that being said, look, this is a trading show at the end of the day. The volume is only about 1 million shares, but as Brendan mentioned, 1, 2, 3, 4, now 5 times, including a failed break, trying to get through 90 even. Maybe this is where it goes, but the volume very, very slightly picking up. I'll probably lean more into what is already worksing. Oh, no, that's bad. What's already working here with Works off of that $5 level, that was actually pretty terrible. I'm sorry, whatever. I'll figure out something better for Works, and we'll get to it the next time we actually get an execution in the stock. But I'm still sitting at that 3/4 mark. If it does push through that, the next leg down would be around this 450 to 460, and then VWAP. Sean and I are flat on these positions at the end of the day, so this is not about thinking there's going to be a rollover into $4. And worth noting on Works here, one of the things I always talk about, if one of those rollovers at like 9:30, where it fails down, if it holds like that first sort of like parabolic pre-market move pullback, which would be like 375, it does that at the open here at 380. It then fails. It was halt upside, right? I tried longing it. It was kind of muted success. And I jump into the short, and it can't break that 375, puts in higher lows. That's usually a telltale sign that it's got a breakout in it. Only it wasn't a very clean break. Like you had to look at, maybe like this 450 area, and it gave you the move, but it was kind of choppy in and around that break. But holding that type of a low, especially when it's failed to hold that, failed to break to the upside there, or at least take out some of those highs, is definitely a good look. So I always look to get a little bit bullish here. That's why I stopped shorting it, but I probably should have found my way into a long. It was just a really tricky. That 450 wasn't very clean at all. Now we're going to make it work on work. So that's what we're going to do here. Just like I said, got out of the 475 there. I'll throw a bid down in that 450, 4.57 range here. Why not? Let's go 457. And then if it goes to VWAP, we'll take it all out. It's a $5 even level. It tested a couple times. You guys saw on level 2, we opened the show with 150,000 shares on that offer. So I know some people are betting for the long. It really doesn't matter what I'm going to do if there's an offer sitting there at $5, right? Like it's going to have to break through that anyways. It's a day trader, have to take advantage of it.
Lots of volumes happening here. We're trying to find a range for Palantir today. I was just looking at that CRTX, and look, it's a good trade, but then remember, guys, this is that Alzheimer's that we were just talking about, the spread, right? So if you're going to put in orders, don't hit any market keys unless you really need to get out. You can cross the spread, close it, and save a couple bucks for sure on that. By a couple bucks, I don't mean on the spread, but at least a couple cents there on the spread, but a couple bucks on your execution, I'm hoping for. Okay, Palantir, never got into it today, and it's kind of crazy because this is one stock that I love here. They're stuck in that range. Remember, we talked about that earlier. The Palantir range, basically from 20 to 23 and change. Looks like we're trying to break out of that today. Very, very similar to a Tyson Foods, similar to a lot of these names that we are looking at on breakout today. And this is what we did, man. Short. I mean, I've got into it. You guys saw me into this name, so I just mean we're short. And then there's the bust through 23 and out. So Palantir, a very, very profitable name today, but again, it does break through that 23 and we get out. So I would still like to see this name come down a little bit, but earnings on the 12th, so we will wait to see on Palantir. Facebook right now, this bad wick, so unfortunately it's going to screw up the charts, but we are looking to take this level out now, hopefully 362.50. If we could do that, man, we'll probably just put this in our pocket and end the day with some nice trades on Facebook. Here today we did protect. Oh man, unfortunately these wicks. Like this is what happens when you chart dark pools, guys, and there's no way around it, unfortunately for our software, but we are buying, and our best out today is 363.30. So that was our best out. Was kind of waiting for that again. It doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Brendan started the show talking about Ethereum and Bitcoin, and yeah, 3,200, and for Ethereum, and 46,000 for the other bad boy here on BTC, both being made in the last half hour, the day's high over there in crypto land. So that's going to be good trading for anybody looking at crypto. But for me, it's still going to be Facebook we're still looking at. We still have Hood that's $1.50 in the money, waiting for 56 to break, and then we're going to see what happens after that. And then we'll have to find some more. But for me, Palantir today, we did get out of that short, thank God, and made a decent bit of coin on that one. So happy with that. Tesla 715 and bouncing around. If there's any other names you want me to look at, put them in the chat.
Speaking of making some decent coin, Coinbase was a good trade, but what is not is, man, that escalated quickly on Moderna. Like, so, I mean, I missed this short here. Comes right down into the downside. I'm like, okay, I'll throw that offer, and if it slides back in, we'll short that 490 level. Get in at 489, and then it's like, okay, 1 minute later, it's already taking out the top. I'll look back at 500, I suppose. That's the next obvious level to the upside. Moderna's just getting to that point where, like, unless you're, I mean, look at the barcoding at 460. And unless you're taking, I mean, a break like that looks pretty darn ridiculous, actually, when you think about it. Anyways, unless you're taking a breakout like this, I mean, buying up here on dip seems a little bit crazy. We've seen what this thing can do. And what I mean by that is, like, you simply look at what some of the reversals have been like when it makes a spike higher. So when we're looking at this one at that off that lower 450 level, or like 445 on the way back down, like that's a good $30, $40 retracement that you're going to see there, in addition to what happened in the pre-market. So if you're not catching an early move, or you're catching a long break, it's really tricky trying to play the longs at these prices. Whereas with the short, you can have sort of an obvious defined out, which I don't mind. Like if you're just going to take that quick little, like a couple of dollars worth of a hit, and the risk reward is like 2 to 1, 3 to 1, then it makes a lot more sense. You just gotta, when you think about it, it's not fundamentally that different from like in Works. When you're playing off like a $5 level like this, it's like $500 or $5. Just as long as you size accordingly, as long as the liquidity is there, the principles are pretty much the same from stock to stock. I did open talking about AMC in addition to Works, and here it is once again. It's actually broken through. Now here's the catch. It broke 34, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th time it's taking out that 34 level and trying to go. So I've kind of been wanting to see it go past that quarter, which it looks like it has. So you know what? Really, like I just start saying it, and I just went to hit 29s. And then of course, like in the next time I'm hitting up 5 pennies, I'm actually hitting 34, so whatever. We're long at, I wanted that 34.25 to break because every time it broke 34, it was just an absolute fail. AMC, of course, is going to be reporting. Worth noting, we talked about this in the morning show. We'll come over to the 15-minute chart here. Kind of an obvious level that sits here at 35. Here's the 35 breaking down, for support here, breaking down, rejecting, so 35 even, you're obviously scalping into that. Well, I mean, I'm obviously scalping into that range because that's what I do here, and we got to be flat by the end of the day. So Works to the short side, that's now about 30 cents in the money. AMC long, I should have had 29s, I got 34s anyways, and we'll see if we can get some out, probably like 15, 20 cents, and then we'll work the rest up to 35. Just looking at the momentum, it's up 5%. They're reporting. It's trying to make another breakout of this particular level here. Just know, when it does fail, it can fail pretty hard. So I don't want it too far past that quarter mark to the downside.
Yeah, I actually punched in to AMC a little bit before you there. So I mean, I have 34.22s or 23s, I guess, averaged up there. So we'll see where we go on this one. I just think that, you know what? I mean, if there's going to be a lot of people, this is kind of like a FOMO trade heading into earnings. People may be thinking that there's something else coming that's not. So let's wait to see what happens here with AMC. I'm with you. I'm looking for, 35 plus on this one. So we'll wait to see. DraftKings may just get out of this, man. We had a nice run, a real nice run. So we break through 52.50 and we're gone out of DraftKings. There's a seller right there, a buyer, as you can see on that level. So let's get our DraftKings stop orders ready to go. And I think that level makes a little bit of sense to me here. We can check it out on a 3-minute chart just to do a little more work if we want to. But DraftKings, that doesn't really look any different. I still think that we have this stopping spot here, 52.46 or so, as now you're starting to go back up. So I'm going to choose 52.39 or so as our outs, and then put this order in and get ready to rock and roll as we are now in on our stop order, 52.39 here on DraftKings. So that's just a 1-minute chart. Nicely put in the money for us. We were sad about this stock, still not happy, but nice rebound back up now with $1.29 in the money. Facebook fell right back down, man. This is a small position. As I said, we are waiting for this bottom. So if this hits, we'll get out 361.50 or so. We'll dump the last bid and then just take a small hit on it, but that's not the reason why we're holding it. I was holding it for much higher. So we could take a 30-cent hit. We've already cashed out a lot on Facebook today, so that should be a good one. And then here goes Robinhood, man. This is exactly what we thought would happen. We still are legitimately short this name right here. We should have reloaded, but again, wasn't really watching these at this time. Right back up to VWAP. I've been nothing but hatred for Robinhood right now, as I've only been short. Early longs off of 57 there. We talked about that, and again, it's my number one stock here, and this is why I'm holding
Someone
it.
give us that ape thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can't hit it right now. Hood right now, 57 short. So we're waiting on that one. And there goes AMC, guys. 30 cents in the money right now for AMC, 34.50. Let's see where we go with this one.
Yeah, I can show you, like our stream decks are down, right? So I can't actually hit our graphics for it. We'll do the Bazinga. That's what I'm kind of using in lieu of like being able to hit a key. Show you some fun. It finally breaks out that AMC. We talked about 35 that it can get to. It just took out that 50 mark. I put an offer on the north side of that. So when stops triggered at 50, there it is. Thank you, guys. Lucas all over it. Lucas and Randy on the 1s and 2s today. If it gets to that 35, I'm out. Like, I'm out of this trade at 35. I would have been buying the dips in front of the quarters if it came back in, but it never got there. So it is what it is, like I always try to say. But I'm not looking at any gift horses in the mouth. I'm day trading and taking profit. We're flat in 45 minutes anyways. And that 35, we just showed you sort of an obvious level there. But it's starting to get a little bit parabolic into the move on AMC. Worth looking at. That Moderna, though, still stalling out at 491, so maybe it doesn't get to that 500. I kind of thought when I stopped out that next stop was going to be that 500 level. Not there yet. Works is still heading to the downside, about 33 pennies in the money on that. And Vaxart, just to flip away. I mean, AMC looks like it's pretty safely in the money now, but Vaxart still trying to test this top. So you look at that $10 range. We already showed it on the higher time frame. This is now the 4th time it's trying to get up here. Each time it's just sort of stalling out in the high 80s. I mean, I want to jump into a short, but I'm trying to be patient with it and get that actual $10 level. Doesn't seem like it wants to give it to me, and the volume really trailing off. So might not be a trade in there for Vaxart after all.
All right, I'm just tweeting out that I'm finally in this name. We have 55 cents now in the money on AMC and still ripping. So let's see, man. We're getting very, very close. I may just take this out at some point. I mean, this is a nice little 60-cent win now. Going more AMC. And I told you why we're in this name. So let's see what does happen there at 30. I mean, it just failed there at 35. Let's wait to see where we go from here. Here it comes right back upside to that 35 level. We've gone over. I mean, this is just a big position for us now. You can see it's taking these out. There's the 20-minute chart. We just took out that high. Now we'll see if we can climb even more here on AMC through 35. So there it is, man. Yeah, we'll hit the swish. That won't happen. But there it is, up to 35 right now. 65 cents in the money here on AMC. May take this out and then punch longer through 35 if we have to. But right now, AMC rocking and rolling. I like it. I like it a lot right now. And then Draftkings still back to exactly where we need this thing. Let's see a 53 break now on Draftkings. $1.50 in the money there, 60 cents in the money here, $1.65 in the money here. And that's what I was talking about with Hood. I wrote down here that I wanted a 57 short. So now that that's broke, I got even a better price than that. So we got 58 short. So let's see how low we can go here on Robinhood, guys.
Robinhood. I'm just going to try to clean up my chart here on CoinDesk. You know, it's got this crazy wick going on here, so I kind of wanted to show this one. Right up at 280 again. Now, look, it had 280 as a bit of a level on the way up, and that's actually what triggered my trailing stop. And if you want to know why, I sort of analyzed this one for a trade of the day, how I bungled that trailing stop. It has more to do with sloppy placement. I like the idea of putting in a trailing stop when it held at 280. I just didn't really put the order in correctly in terms of taking a quick second or like an extra few seconds or a minute there to actually realize where I wanted that trailing stop to be in. But we're right back at this level, up at 280 here, and it's been lower highs at least 3 times that we put in. I think it still has a chance to be a runner up towards that 300 range, but it does feel like we're stalling out just a little bit, despite the fact that we're still trading higher in spot here and looking pretty strong. Moderna is now, by the way, Moderna is now at 93, so it is on the march to that 500. I'll wait patiently for 500. And I got out of AMC, like I said, I was going to be out when it got to, or in front of that 350, so 35. So the second it got up to 94, like 94, 95, I'm like, I'm out. Got out at 89 on the way back down. Can always look at a 35 break. Can look at a dip, maybe all the way even back into that 34, 40 to 50 range. I don't see anything that looks too juicy on the offer. This is, of course, still Coinbase, because obviously. I don't see anything juicy on the offer on my other level 2 here that I can see that's at $4. I mean, oh, wait a minute. Where'd that come from? 35 does have a little bit. Nah, that's not too much. But 130,000 shares, what I look like and I saw there. Quick math to look at that level 2 and say about 130,000 shares. It's done 53 million actually plus. So that's really going to get chewed through in like 2 seconds. So I wouldn't actually jump in front of this for like the 98, 99 scalp trade and just stop out at 35. I need to see at least three times as many shares on the offer than that.
Yeah, we got out to of that play, but we should have held it. But there it is. Yeah, that's not that much size at all. So here comes a 35 break, and there it goes in 1 second probably. Nope, still resisting. There it is. So now we'll go back long again on this name. So we take it again here long. So now we'll see how far it can go up now as we get out, and then we take the long again, just in case that 35 resisted. So now we have AMC to the long side one more time here. So let's see how far we can go. I mean, you guys know I like to trade around the quarters, so maybe we'll do something around there. But I don't know. Struggling a little bit here at 35. Sort of thought that it would go. Okay, here we go. Sort of thought it would go even a little bit more than this. But here we go. Scalping City up to 35, 35, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, it stops at 20 there. Let's see what does happen right now at 53, 35, sorry, 19. Nice little stop there. So nice.
I just covered some at 18.
To the upside here. Go AMC through 18. Now 19s. Yeah, it seems to be stopping here a little bit at 20. There it is. Bang! We cover some there at 23, so let's go. Now let's go to the upside, man. We're rushing and crushing right now AMC as we just taking the double long, double shot power. Let's go. We'll punch it out. AMC we are back in the building, and we just crushed that stock. So a nice little trade there for AMC.
Yeah, and when it comes to there's really not much you're going to be looking at up here. We talked about that 35. Oops, we can zoom out a little bit so you can see on the higher time frame. When you talk about through this 35, you got choppity chop all the way up to like 36.5 here. So there's no really significant levels until that double top 40 is obviously going to stand out a little bit here, and then if it ever got to 41. So I even think there might be a chance if it dips down at 35 and that can be held, looks fantastic. I can tell you, is it worth it? Let me works it. I use this one in the morning, put my thing down, flip it, and what in the actual heck happened to Works? I'm not looking to gift horse in the mouth, by the way. That was just by way of roundabout saying. Works just dropped 60 pennies all the way into our target in 1 minute. I was already sitting on the bid in front of 450. Trust me, if I had actually seen this, I would have tried to cancel that bid and then get it all out. But the short off 5 obviously worked. Brendo.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that actually. WORX, not seeing anything in the way of an offer or anything in the last hour of the day, but that was a pretty ugly reversal candle there. Worth mentioning, almost the highest volume of the day there in a 1 minute period for Works, guys.
All right. Yeah, so AMC, again, looks like it did have a problem there at 35. We talked about that. That's why we did get out of 2/3 of what we had left there at 35.25 there. So that was a nice out, but now we're starting to fade back in. Still think it's worth it here into the close just a little bit, but we do have to get out at some point, but we won't give back what we made, so that's for sure. So let's let this settle down a little bit here as it's getting a lot of volume. We do have the imbalances coming out at 350, so 350, we'll have those imbalances coming out, so that could be there for AMC. We'll definitely have a check. We will have a check too in Toronto imbalances as well. So hopefully that'll come through soon. DraftKings, we just stopped moving past 53 there. So again, a nice little $1.60 now in the money on this DraftKings bottom. Ultimately, we were playing for 51. If we really did believe in it, I mean, we would have averaged in a little bit more, but we did get spanked here early, and now we're just trying to make it back late. So hopefully that can come through for us as Donkey Kong looking to take out some new highs. JP Morgan today. Palantir does drop a little bit. What's the NASDAQ doing? NASDAQ's coming back down a little bit. ANY coming there. And then I know Works did a nice move there, so maybe that's something that we have to look at. Oops, WRX, of course, not Work. That's Workday. What is it, NASDAQ? What am I doing? Okay, here we go, 439 there. So a big, my charts, it's a big drop there, but we'll have to see what we're gonna get into. Yeah, there it is there. Right back into these levels. So I think that any $4 is a nice pickup there for Works if you're looking at that name.
I'm definitely going to be looking back at it, but AMC looks like it's pulling back in. Now remember, like this all started with like a takeout of like that 34.15 to 25 level, and then when it made the push to 35, there was a bit of a dip. This didn't go back to 34.50 that I saw. This was more around that 34.75, which we're at right now. So not a horrible place to try to jump back into some shares. I'll go ahead and stand in front of a falling sword. Why not? I mean, if it's going to hold this quarter, I think we go back into that 35 range, and you can certainly look back to like 65 if you want a tight stop there, or all the way back into 34.50. It's on the run. The volume's looking pretty good. As far as Works go, keep an eye on Vaxart. That's back up in the high 90s. It can't seem to get to 10, which is ridiculous, but either way, it's getting pretty close. So just dip back into AMC. I was kind of thinking if Works had extended down maybe to like $4, and that's this lower high here, maybe jump into a long, but the real support level is this like 375, 380. So you would think that you want it to drop a little bit further, and that's a big candle. I want to be on the short side of it. There's just no obvious level where you're wrong. I think you can just randomly say 450, but then I'm kind of randomly picking that price. So I can't really jump into that trade even though I would like to. It looks like Vaxart could be back on the table. I dip back into AMC. Average price will be 86 now, but I kind of want to maybe scalp that up to like 35 and then rinse and repeat if I buy in the dip, if it wants to hold 65. But we've seen AMC can come down just as fast as it goes up. And there's just, if I had a price I liked, I'd be back into work somewhere on the short side, but it would have to be maybe even closer to like 455, 460. At least I know I could have a 75, 80 stop.
All right, we're just going to offer out now on DraftKings. If you break down through 75, I've got to cancel my other one as that's going to be quite a monster for me here on the winning side of this last bit of trade. So just if you're with me here and you're still watching DraftKings, I did talk about this level as my stop, 52. 60 or so, 52.50. I'm now just adjusting it here. I just don't want to let this profit go. We've seen this happen before. We break back down below this area, 52.75, and we will flash out of there. Yeah, quarterly report due after the bell there for AMC. So we did add back in as well. Now coming another add spot, maybe here 34.30 or so, if we can add back into AMC. And then sort of where this all started from was this 34 break. So, if we get back to there, then we can, think about, okay, maybe this is a not great. But I think that could be some more buys down here, 34.40, 34.50. We will see. Robinhood, just again, the same type of thing here, heading into the close. We want to make sure that we're rewarded ourselves with at least $1. So this Robinhood trade where we're short rate here, 58, we will get out if it gets back above 57. So that's another trade that I'm looking at right now. Robinhood back above 57, we'll get out. So a lot of these trades are in the money. The only one that we're waiting for right now is AMC, but they're so far so good. Let's get another piece of AMC if we can, and then we'll see where we go from there. But I'm still eyeing 34 as a problem area. If we get back down to there, we may give back some of these gains here today and close somewhere in this area, 33 and change. So let's wait to see what happens with AMC, but I do want to take another piece, but a little bit lower.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm getting tired of sort of looking at this barcoding on Vaxart. If it's going to have this low volume and it's going to have this much trouble getting to that 10 range, I'm just going to go ahead and start it now at 85. Obviously, it's only risking like 15 pennies to that 10 even. The high of the day stands at 992. So this is a situation where I would let it take out the high of the day and actually be looking to add to the position between 92 and 10 even, thinking that some people just like to throw their stop at the high of the day, and that actually can get you a good price. Like it stop people out at 92 that are short, let's just say, and then maybe they print up to like 96, 97, doesn't break 10 even, and then it comes right back down. So that's the way I would be getting into more shares of Vaxart. One more, I can't believe we didn't mention this one. And what we did earlier, if you were watching the morning show, we did talk about QS, Qualmscape there, but yeah, not a bad move. Not a bad move on the session, up 10%, but giving a little bit back. Now, when we left the show in the morning, this would have been like at about like a 24 level high, then consolidation, another break, gets towards like 24.70, can't quite get to 25 even, and now you're right back in the same high where we left the show, right around that 24 mark. So if this wants to take out 24 even, I think it has a decent chance that it would at least give you back to this. I mean, maybe where they're talking about 23.60 or at least this level here, like 23.57. So I'm going to look to see if I can't catch a breakdown in Qualmscape at 24. It needs to break that level before I'm convinced. Like I want stops hitting, essentially something like that, momentum to the downside before I would get into it. So I want a 24 break. Still have a half an hour to go, so there's definitely plenty of time for this to make a bit of a move. I want to add one more shot here in AMC, but I don't want to do it in the mid-60s. So I'll try to patiently wait for maybe the 40s or 40s or 50 level if it does want to test. And Vaxart still can't even break that 92, but I want to add between 92 and a 10 even.
Okay, I do want to say, Valeria's making sure we don't miss any of these messages. Thank you so much, Rita D, for the $5. I mean, I'm just glad how you've been helping me, been sick, health bills. I'm sorry about that, but glad that we're here to help and best health moving forward, obviously, for everybody on our chat and just for everybody in general. What's up, Giancarlo? Thank you so much. Yeah, Hydration Nation remains strong here as we go. So thank you, Giancarlo. Welcome to the Hydration Nation plan, or I don't know, whatever. Analysis on Workhorse. I will talk about Workhorse. I'll just click it up for you here in the background. And I cannot believe that we had this winner and we lost on it. I'll talk about Workhorse in a minute. And I think there was one more. Someone wants us, I think it was talking about SOS. So we can talk about that in a minute. I am out of Draftkings there. Oh, man. That's a bad wick, or no, that was real. So right there, we did get out of Draftkings. It looks like, see, this is what I was really afraid of. Not afraid of getting out like this. It's afraid of not getting out, and then this kind of continues, and then the wick is somewhere down here, and then that's where I wind up getting out. So we did have a little more aggressive out there. Turns out that maybe we're going to be wrong on that one, but hey, Draftkings, man, nice move today. Probably going to be, someone asked on our one-on-one chat today for the members only about swing trading, and I forgot to mention Draftkings. I think it's about time now to get out some Draftkings for that one. Hood continues to make moves downside. And then Workhorse today. So, all right. So Workhorse is one of the largest shorted names out there, period. We did have it on our sticky note as a short through that to multiple sticky notes on that short through 10.15 here. We miss it early. It comes out. This is the 10.15 right there. Tanks all the way down to 9.50. That would have been a great trade. But then I use that same area as support, now resistance. So it bangs it out there. We get out right away, man. That's like a 15-cent win. And then about 5 minutes later, it came right back to where VWAP is and we got out again. Then it retested the bottoms and ripped all the way back. So for me, this 950, and again, thank you for the note and the super chat, but for me, that 950 is a good hold spot. So if you're long Workhorse, I think you can sort of trust this 950. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but I'm going to put that in my cap and try to remember Workhorse tomorrow. And that's why I keep these notes, man. So we'll make that, I'll mark down 950 on here, and then we'll review this tomorrow. But Workhorse should be traded tomorrow if it's anywhere near that 950 support level. I'm going to write it down right now.
Yeah, speaking of support, AMC finding stuff right at that 34.50 mark, so it kind of let it bounce off that one time and then catch more shares here. If it tries to get back up to 35, I'll definitely scalp some out in front of it. We're getting up on time here with about 30 minutes to go, but we're still okay time-wise. But I will be scalping into that high. I don't know if we're going to break the high today. Same thing with Vaxar. Like, we're getting pretty close to those tops without making that breakout. I just want to point out that Moderna, I don't know if you're still in that one, Brent, but anyways, mRNA, why not? It is trying to roll over again. Every time I've shorted this thing, it's been like, okay, tight stop, risk to reward pretty solid, tight stop, risk to reward pretty solid, but it hasn't really worked. And then you'll see it roll over just a little bit after. This would be one to watch, just in my estimation. You never really know, but you could see a move at 350. And when the stock does what it's doing, you might see some imbalances every now and then that could actually move it, especially if it were to come out a sell. You could actually see it drop a little bit there. So I'd have my eye out on it. Works. I mean, I really thought that this was actually going to do something. You get that spike down. Of course, it's going to end up being the best trade since we came back on for Power Hour for myself. But this is barcoding. It's sitting here 440 to 430 and doing absolutely nothing. There's still some time for it to either break down through 420, I guess, make another push up, and then I could fade in that 60 to 70 range. But push comes to shove. Now, this could be one that's our last trade. We're shorting it off the high. It is still a bullish sign for those that are in works. It's a bullish sign that it's held up from each of these lows, whether it be the 7 o'clock pump, 930, the dip, which would have been a good dip buy if you had it in there at 380. Those levels not even being tested, definitely a good sign, because then they can still be in play for support tomorrow if you are holding overnight. We, of course, are not. It's waiting for Vaxar and AMC to make their moves. No need to be rushing into anything, just going to be patient here. And I would take a look at Moderna. Of course, yeah. Moderna now at 485, so it looks like the short is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, you had a tight. You had like, what, $1 stop on Moderna or something like that?
Well, it was more like $1.50. The first one I had a couple of bucks earlier in the session, but this one is a tight stop. But I think
yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
every now and then I'll give it more, but like, trust me, like when we give, like usually if I'm giving it a lot more room, it's like a 930 type of trade in a $500 stock, where I kind of really know the level I want to work off of. Otherwise, it's just, okay, this is the turn or it's not the turn. And that way, if it's a tight stop for $1 and $1.50, and you're trying to make like 5, really, you can be worse than 50-50 on a shot like that. You just have to kind of like the level. That's why I try to play those.
No, the only reason I was bringing that up is just that people need to also consider here the spread. Like right now, you have 50 cents on the spread alone on Moderna, right? So when it opens up, you just got to be very careful. And that's why you talk about using limit orders versus market orders versus things like that, because we always get questions. So like right there, right? Like let's just say your stop is like what Neil said, $1 or $1.50. Like that's basically going to be one, and that's fine if that's your plan, right? So that's good. But I just letting everybody know that like when it opens up, you have that 50 or 60 cents. So just if you are putting in stop orders, just make sure that that's something that you've looked at, right? That's all. So that's all I wanted to bring that up. Okay, Palantir fading back in. I mean, I really want this thing to come down. I really want to get longer into earnings, but it has to happen at about $21 or so. It can't happen too much more than that. We were just here earlier today. This is a 6-minute chart. What? No, I want this to be a 20-minute chart. So we'll open this back up, and this is why this is such a big move here. It's kind of an outlier on this 20-day chart. I mean, we did did have one, I guess, down here when we went to 21. So if we could, I guess 21's wrong. If we could pick this up like around $1 lower from here, 21.70, 21.60, then I like this trade on Palantir. Sorry, misspoke there about the dollar. It needs to be 21.50, not 21 even. Then we'll take that. And the reason why is look what's happening here. I'm going to show to Tyson Foods as well. This is what's happening. So you get some barcoding right here. And then if you can beat, like if they come out and beat, and we'll find out, Brandon, maybe you can find out the short interest on Palantir. I don't think it's too high, but if they do beat, then you're going to come into another area, which I think is going to be like around here, 26, 26.50. But then if they miss, then you're going to have like what happened here, where we kept tanking downside, and then they didn't miss. I mean, this day was up 25%, but you did have a crazy curl up down here on that same day. So I just really worried. And then look at TSN. So Tyson Foods, and this is a good thing Brandon brought this to us earlier today. This is what it is right here. So you get that same kind of action here. I mean, it looks different because we're tanking, but all this barcoding, then a nice beat by Tyson, and then you're up that 8%, beating the 50-period moving average, and then back into this next area of concern. So it's only 3%. So thank you, Brendan, for that on Palantir. So we're not super worried about that as far as a short interest is concerned.
And of course, so by the way, I keystroked on AMC, and if you make a keystroke error and get out, we actually got this question, not this time in a Q&A, but we got it last time, I think a couple of weeks ago, and it was like, what do you do if you make a keystroke error and get out of a position you didn't intend to? Do you just jump right back in? We're like, yeah, pretty much. You're gonna pay spread or like the few pennies that it's moved. So if you see my price different, it's a completely irrelevant. I meant to put a stop in there a little bit lower on that quarter mark, end up keystroking out of it, so I get right back into the trade. This is not me now. Oh yeah, look at me, I'm in the money 15 cents. Now my average price was 72 before, so to me, I'm not really profitable till it gets above that 72 mark. I was already, got my orders back in there. I was already going to be taking some out on the north side of that 75. So if people have 75 stops, it'll hit you. And then if it breaks up to 35 again, I would get some out in front of that 35 mark. So if you saw my price change, that is more me bungling an order. And of course, I mean, I don't get back into works because I was being patient with it. Yeah, well, patience is not a virtue there. Should have got short at whatever price, because now it is testing down towards that $4 range. So unfortunately, I wanted to see if it could pop up and get me a better entry price so that I would know where I was wrong. It does not continue that sell-off, so maybe I should have held on to some. And now here comes Vaxar towards 10. My stop is at 10, and I want to be adding between 92 and 10 even.
Okay, yeah, we did add to our AMC, so this is our, oopsies, this is our real price. We did get that bid finally down there at 44, so we did get a little bit there. Not huge position for AMC, but again, you know why we're doing this. We are holding this into earnings here for AMC, so let's just hope that we can get one way or the other now on this trade. And I think we could test 35 one more time. We are long at 34.80, so I sure as hell hope we could test one more time to the upside there. Facebook battling again. It's going to look silly because we have this wick, but it's battling. It's holding off that 361.50. So, you know, holding this for a last second run that we can hopefully have here into the close. So that's a little bit of a call now on Facebook. Let's see if we can get that run. We just talked about Palantir. Ford, though, Randy, unfortunately for Ford, back down a little bit, though, Randy. Back down to 13.77 right now for Ford. So of course it's okay, but what's not okay is this chart. Okay, there we go. Yeah, down to 13.50. How many times have we seen 13.50 come? So there it is again. We have to next time buy some of these 13.50 dips. So we'll wait to see if that can happen one more time, and then we'll trade that off there. So 13.50 coming. Okay, Facebook, I see you. You're still trying to go. That's some good talk here. Hopefully that can get up. My Facebook offer is $1 higher. So 362.40 is where we're waiting for Facebook. Robinhood's on board. And then we can watch Workhorse, but I'm a little bit disappointed in Workhorse today, not doing as much as we thought it would off earnings, kind of just doing nothing. So maybe that trade is a nothing burger, as the kids say. And here comes AMC right back to the upside now. We'll get some offers out here because we want to make sure that we get some profits out on AMC, maybe right near 35. And then if it busts even higher than that, then we can hold on to the rest of it. But here goes AMC for a nice winner to the upside, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you took out that 75, got some out there at 80 for myself. Vaxar did make that push. So it is up around that $10 range. I said I'd wait for like right in front of 10, allow it to break 92s, and then get more shares in front of 10. So 95 is going to be my average price. Oh, I can. Well, it's not a huge bid, but it's, I guess, big enough to show it over here. There is an offer at, what, did I say bid? I meant offer. There is an offer here at 10. It's only about 400, if you count all the books, it's probably closer to 450,000 shares. Done 20 million on the day, so it's not a bad sized order, but I'm still going to do this. I mean, every time you're shorting off at 10, I got 95. I'll definitely try to take probably a third of it off in front of that previous high, like that, maybe like 985 to 992. And then if it breaks this, there's only 20 minutes to go. So the idea would be if it broke this, I'd be getting a bunch out in front of 75, trying to hang on to see if it does fall all the way back, but it probably has a little bit too much momentum at this point to fall back into VWAP with only 20 minutes left here on Vaxar, but I'll give it some time. I mean, it's 5 cents worth of risk plus slippage, so, you know, once I'm in the money about 5 pennies, I'm gonna start taking it off, of course. And if that level doesn't get broken, you know, there is room to pull back in here. There's just not enough time necessarily for a bigger move. And going back over to Moderna, it is starting that rollover. So if this had been 500, I probably would have been worth it, I think, to roll like 95s and 97s and risk more. But, you know, at this point, like, would I be sitting in that one still at 489, wanting to hold it $11 against me into 500 so that I can get back in here at 482? That doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Sure, it would have worked out, but it never really gave me that shot closer to 500 where I could have had a more reasonable risk to reward. So you're not going to see me in mRNA to end the day, unfortunately. It is starting to come back in, so if somebody still held it, congratulations is all I can say.
Congratulations, y'all. Yeah, for sure. Good call there. Okay, so here comes AMC right to the upside, man. We did hold all the way, so let's see now if we can get it, man. 34.97 or so is my offer. We'll see if that's going to come into play. Hopefully it does, and then we'll be able to get out here. So that's going to be my call here on that name. We'll see where it's going from there, but it's not looking great right now, and that is, well, it is looking great. It's fine. We're now in the money. We did hold that all the way against us. We talked about why. We're averaging into that name, and again, you're not going to see me screwing around too much with these plays, guys. Like, you know, as it goes, if it goes back up and it follows my sort of parameters, then I am going to get out of this. So this is me getting out. Hopefully, damn it, I wanted to get out again near that 35 mark. Goes as high as 93, 94. I was at 97. So hopefully that can come into play here very, very soon. So we'll see about that. And then the other play here, Hood, still trying to go, man. 57 is going to be my spot. We do have, we could check the Toronto imbalances. I don't know if there's anything there.
Oh, nothing.
Nothing, a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, so Kinross doing that, MFC here as well, Suncor. So a bunch of just no names kind of here on the I mean, they're nice names, but no decent size there for Toronto. So we can avoid those imbalances.
Yeah, I'm going to go, it was about 340. I'm actually canceling my order on Qualmscape there. I just kind of, it's getting late in the session to take breakouts or breakdowns. But I want to go back to Coinbase because it is looking pretty strong here. It hasn't broke. Why is this on Mars still? Oh, my 15-minute has decided to freeze on me, so I will go back to the 1. But it has decided to hold at 280. Not a heck of a lot to see up in this range, but it is a strong move. We get Bitcoin holding at those highs. So I want to see Coinbase above 275 tomorrow. I think that's going to be a new peg that we can look at. AMC, like you said, Sean, I mean, I'm in it too. It definitely tried to get back to that 35 mark. I had one more offer in there. It doesn't want to take it out. At this point, mostly due to the time constraint, with only about 18 minutes left to go, I'm not sure I want this breaking that breaking this level 34.45, which was randomly sold out here and then made a bottom of 34.45. And that has more to do with time than anything else, because if it were to slam back down when imbalances come out, I kind of want to be able to play that for a 350 imbalance trade. Like if for whatever reason it makes a dip down and then you can buy it for like 33.80 to 34 and then take a quick little scalp trade going into the close. I'd love to be doing that. Can't really do that same play when you're holding along from up here at that 34.70 mark, which was my real price, not this 34.54 that I have because of my keystroke error.
So I mean, I know we're talking about AMC, but I mean, that's one of the only things moving right now so rapidly into earnings. So someone on the chat said we probably don't get 35. You might be right. I mean, I don't know if we get 35 again, but I am going to wait there. It doesn't take that much to get this trade, guys. So I'll try to be as patient as I can and get 35. Again, I don't think it takes a lot to get there. So, one more bump up, and we probably get close to where we need to be. So hopefully we can take that out. We're just back in the money on this. Like Neil said there, we've both sort of averaged in on this play. So now we'll wait to see where we can go from here. Mine is just start like we started from the bottom. Now we're here. So we started from 34.20. We got those ones out 35. That's $1. We did take more in there at 35 break. So, back and forth. It's been a good trade for us so far. So absolutely no complaints whatsoever, but still needs a little bit of work to go here on AMC. I'm still looking for you, 35. Hopefully you can come in and take a visit. What's up, Brendo?
Just having a look at Victoria's Secret, guys, popping up. JP Morgan initiated coverage with an overweight on VSCO. Remember, they recently split. So this is the new one, VSCO, just a few days old here. Big move today, 25% all the way up to 72. Big volume you can see right at the end of the day for VSCO.
I had forgotten all about that. And good look, so whoever's putting in quotes of Top Gun, you can be my wingman anytime. I love that movie, mostly because Val Kilmer is badass. Val Kilmer is an actor who got to play two of the most badass characters of all time, Doc Holliday and Iceman. I don't know what else. I don't know what he did with the rest of his career, but for those two movies, he's an absolute legend. Clover, how did we miss? I think I forgot about. I just forgot about Clover. To be honest with you, 875 made a parabolic move towards the end of the show, and then in the morning show that is, and broke out. Couldn't get past 885. Now we're at that 885 mark, up 9% on the session. But this is a daily chart. It's a bit of a squeeze play. I forgot my 15-minute chart is frozen, so that doesn't really help. There is a level at 10, which I think could be coming into play tomorrow, especially given how strong it is. There isn't a tremendous, it's not like there's a huge volume spike going into the close for this move, but it's still a strong look anyways for Clover. So there's no way I'm going to miss this. I'm going to make sure it's on my board here. And I know I already had that $10 level written down. This is like the third or fourth time on Vaxart that it's testing that 10. So the size hasn't gone anywhere. I'm actually going to go ahead and take more. If I can get 99 again, I'll just take more shares at 99 and then try and get them out at like 94, 95, 96, if that's all it wants to do. If it can't make the break by like 350, almost at 950, by 350, I might go ahead and back off of that order because I don't want something crazy happening between 350 and 340, especially on the imbalances where, I don't think there will be one on Vaxart, but I wouldn't want it taking out that level too fast. I want to be hitting that level at 10 even, as opposed to putting a stop that just triggers me out when it breaks that. I'd rather get out at 10 if I see that level starting to go.
Okay, so just making sure that we do have some love here for Facebook. We got to make sure that we have that out at 361 right now, as it is coming down. So 361, we'll have to get out if it does go back down. We'll just set our orders up right now to get out of that one if it does break. It doesn't look like it wants to continue. Its movement will still be positive on Facebook today. Some nice trades, but we were waiting, and NASDAQ is failing right now. So I put out a APB for Valeria to check out NEO earnings maybe. We can find out when NIO are, but I think it's this week at some point, which makes sense. So, I think this could be possible for a swing trade. There's August 11th, thanks, Prad, so not too long from now, they're August 11th coming out for NEO. So I think this is going to be good. I feel like they're selling more cars, and the only problem with NEO, of course, as we continue to talk about what's going to happen with the CCP there and the People's Republic of China, I don't think they'll say anything negative about NEO. I really don't. So I like that. I like this play. Any kind of dips tomorrow on NEO, I want to be a buyer. So that I don't mind this as a swing trade. If you guys are looking at NIO, whoever said AMC may not get up to 35 again is probably right. It does that nice run one more time to 34.85, and then now we're dipped right back in here. So AMC, no matter what, it should be a positive stock for me, unless this does tank like crazy. But we are going to get out if we do break back down below 34. So that's going to maybe a little bit lower than that. Maybe, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't have to be too much lower. View up's at 33.75. So somewhere around there, we'll try to protect some of these gains that we already have today on NIO, guys.
Yeah, and
or
just
on AMC.
I know what you're talking about there. I mean, look, if AMC takes out that 45, I'm going to dip out of it. We only have 13 minutes to go. That's why I have to get more aggressive on the bid here at Vaxart. As it heads down to those low 90s, I'll probably still be willing to take like 99s, maybe 98s in front of that 10, just because the level's still there. But we're starting to get pretty thin. I won't add to it necessarily at 350, but if it's still there at 350, I'll take a shot at it. I'm all out of AMC, just got stopped out there, so I'll walk away from that one and focus on Vaxart going into the close. The thing about a level like this is there's always a decent chance it can roll over hard and still give you that flush trade, right? Especially when there's a level like 10 that it's trying to chew through and can't get past. So at this point, I would only add to the trade at that particular 98 or 99 price and then keep my bids. Like I have another one down here in the high 80s. Otherwise, I'd almost want to let it fall and then just try to remove liquidity on the way out. So this one will have worked. Obviously, it'll end up being like Works and Vaxart that will work out. Moderna didn't really work out to the short side. AMC sort of a mixed bag here. Although the premise was good for the breakout. It tested that level over and over again. But let's see if Vaxart can't get down to the 970 range. I would love to be able to get out half of it. I'm still holding on to like 2/3 of this position. I'd like to be able to get out like half of it before 350, but I'd rather that be around that 980 to 985.
I like this Brian James right here. Yeah, AMC, take me to bed or lose me forever. So we will wait to see. I don't know if that's from a movie or not, but I like that line there. So we're waiting for AMC. It looks like I won't be going to bed with AMC because I will lose this stock if it does go back down below that 34 just slightly after that. So we'll wait for AMC to make a move here. And it doesn't look like it's making money moves today, to quote Miss Cardi B. So we'll wait to see where it goes. Save Spirit Airlines. You know what? Let's check out CCL. On the reopen trade. Not much happening, down 1.67%. Not really a mover. We could check out on Penn today. Congratulations, everybody that had Penn the other day. It went down to 61. Battling a little bit today. Come on, Penn. Battling a little bit today, but not great. It is pulling back just like Draftkings did today as well. So Penn off their earnings. We did bottom out. This kind of reminds me of our friend there, whatever it's called. What was the stock that I like again? Oh yeah, Palantir, where it made a crazy move on one of their few days of earnings right back to the upside. So Penn touches 61, then closes at 72 that day. So we'll have to wait to see what it wants to do now. Draftkings also a little bit in trouble today as it's faded back off here. Down to 50, back down to 52.50. So that's still Penn. Our last out on Draftkings, not bad, 52.75.
I gotta say, I got that one, by the way, guys. I mean, yeah, Top Gun, why not? It's you guys give me that love and feeling. That's for damn sure. I love it. It's a great movie. I don't know what's going on with the sequel, but anyways, yeah, that's right. Take me to bed or lose me forever. You guys are amazing with the movie quotes there. I do want to keep track on a couple of names. One of them, we talked about Coinbase already. We didn't. I don't know if we've covered AMD here. But it's starting to get to, and let me do this for, 15-minute chart's gonna be punking me here. You know what I'm gonna manually do? I'll just come over here and move this to the 15 so we can do it that way. A little bit more simple, because I wanted to give a higher time frame look of what's going on with AMC. AMD, oh goodness, now it doesn't want to load for me. Anyways, there we go. Thank you very much. This morning, we talked about AMD. We looked at, and obviously there was this pre-market low level, and this is like 109.50 that stood out. But then I went right back into like this break here at 107.20, and then was dip support here 107.20, and that was like after barcoding in like a 100 to 107 range. It dipped down, supported, broke out, supported 107.20, and now we're right at that level. So it might be put up or shut up time for AMD tomorrow. That's a huge move, obviously, to put into 120. But this 107.20, I was looking that for a dip buy range. It just barely ticked into it, and I missed that trade to the long side. Now we're in that actionable level that if it breaks through, it could retrace even further. Or if it holds it, you've got yourself a long, maybe around that 109, 110 with a 107 stop in tomorrow's action. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Vaxart doesn't really give me any more shares, and whoops. I just remembered I moved my 15 because my other one was frozen, so we'll go back to the 1 minute because you can't look at a $10 stock and scalp 5, 10, 15-cent winners on a 15-minute chart. It'll just look ridiculous. So Vaxart's starting to move to the downside. I can hang on to this, but I need to cancel my stop. I'm probably going to go manual with this trade. With only 8 minutes to go, I will not be adding to this position if it goes to 999, obviously, but I'll hang on to it just in case we can move down towards this 980 if it breaks that 970s. I don't think we're getting VWAP here, but if you're just playing in front of that level for size like we did with Moxie, it has everything to do with if that level breaks, I'm just hitting it at 10. Otherwise, I can hold it into the close.
See here. I was trying to just buy AMC here because we did have a nice little dip to the downside that got us out of our position. And now AMC, I guess on imbalance here, is kind of going crazy. So we'll wait to see where it wants to go. But AMC looking like a madman right now, bouncing around here into earnings, of course. So big move down. We got crushed out of that one. I was okay though. I mean, it was bad, but we were okay on AMC. It's not the end of the world. So, but there it is. Tried to make a move back to the upside and tried to buy some shares into that close, but it doesn't look like right now. We could check out the imbalance locator here to see what was up with that. So CS is there, IQ. I don't see AMC on here, but must have got flushed for some reason. Yeah, it's not on here. Big move for Apple as well. What's up, Red Dope?
All right, guys, we are getting to the end of earnings season, but quick look here at what's to come tonight and before the open tomorrow.
What's that thing in the middle? Yeah, you see it. It's AMC there. Watch out for Zila. XELA, they're obviously going to be having earnings. Didn't move a heck of a lot today, so maybe not too much to work off of, but certainly when you get a catalyst, it can be worth it for the look. And I know you're looking at that Smile Direct. There was something else in there. Where is it? I know 3D Systems. Yeah, watch a little bit of 3D as well.
Yeah, we finally did go. Yeah, so we're looking at all those stocks tomorrow. We'll be looking at everything. I do like Smile Direct and why. So I'm back long, by the way, now on AMC just to see what happens into the close. Smile Direct here, again, on the daily, man, this is pretty juicy right here. So we'll see if there's going to be a little bit of movement here on SDC heading into tomorrow as it's coiling up right at the bottom here. So if they miss, man, just look out below, load up those shorts, and get ready to rock and roll with some SDC tomorrow. That should be nasty down there. So we'll see if that can come through tomorrow. Still 5 minutes to go. Okay, so I guess our hood got out. Yeah, so some of these, like, the stocks went the wrong way, man. Hood went back up, AMC went down, and I was reversed on those. So we take the dollar. Hey, look, it's a win is a win, man. With Hood, I was about to hit something. We don't have it. A win is a win, so I'll take it. But, yeah, it could have been obviously a lot better there on Hood, as we can see. So that was a mistake, not taking that out at 56. Sometimes greed gets the best of me, guys.
Greed, as they say, is good. Sometimes. I mean, it's good to have a little bit of it, I think, but every now and then. It's gonna burn you, but like, there's no way you're taking extra upside without risking a little bit more. That's just the reality. This for VRTX. I'm now down to actually still have a third of this. It was 5 minutes left to go. I'm trying to hold this one, give it all the way to the close because I know there's that size at 10, but I keep getting more shares out in the bid. It just seems like it's holding at 985, and it's not like there's like a gigantic amount of shares, but it's not even getting and printing these 85s or 84s or 83s where these 10,000 share orders are sitting there. So they haven't even been tested. Entirely possible that if it sees this on the bid, maybe those pull and it can flush even further, but we are running out of time. Sean and I flat at the end of every single trading day. Of course, come right back tomorrow morning, but do not forget, trade of the day, it was Coinbase today. Everything crypto was moving. Coinbase is getting off that schneid and starting to move to the upside. I just need Vaxart to continue to move to this downside here. Seems like only the shorts worked. And speaking of works, which I never got back into, is now down at 380. So, if you just blindly shorted that next cluster down, I mean, I guess you could have just given it to 440 and shorted the 420 break or 430 or whatever the heck, any price would have worked. It's now down at 380. So much for that one holding up nicely, although still above that 375 from the 830 breakout, I suppose, and pullback.
All right, let's just see if we could go back upside. We're going to hold AMC and see where we go here. I don't know when their earnings are going to be coming out, but if it's shortly after 4, then we should be able to see them here. Hopefully it comes out early and they beat and this thing rips up, but they could also miss and tank to the downside. So we will see what's going to happen right now with your AMC Bitcoins and stuff like that. Not really moving. We can check back on the imbalance locator one more time. CS is on there. We talked about that. That's just Uber. Uber's on there as well. We can see what Uber's doing right now on a 1 minute chart with this big sell imbalance. Yeah, so still making moves to the downside there. Uber, not great today, man. Big flush off the open, battle back, and now negative 2.1%. 2.31%, so not great there for Uber on the day. WFC is seller, but wow, up to $50. Still red today, but what a good move WFC's been for those of you guys that have held some of the banks. JP Morgan, Bank of America's on here as well. Other than that, I don't see much. That's not Ford, that's FE.
I don't see JT Marlin up there,
No,
man.
neither do I.
how are you going to disrespect JT Marlin, man? Those guys can't get a drink. They're getting disrespected at the bar. You can't even see them on the locator. Anyways, I actually told this to a trader, like if you have not watched Boiler Room on this floor, then like I usually yell at somebody. It's like you have to have watched that. You have to have watched Rogue Trader. Those I'm dating myself here, but they're absolute classics. Vaxart will be all out of it in just a quick little bit here with only 2 minutes left to go. But it's not to say that they're going to teach you everything, but yeah, like there are some lessons to be learned in Boiler Room, probably more of them in Rogue Trader, I would say. If you've never heard the story of Nick Leeson, I'm now rambling at this point, sorry guys, but if you've never heard the story of Nick Leeson, it's actually a pretty valuable one to go back and look at because people talk about revenge trading and averaging down, and nobody in the history of the world has done it like Nick Leeson, so make sure you check that movie out. It's a fantastic one. My favorite scenes when they're at the dinner table, and I won't spoil it for you, but the dinner table scene's pretty hilarious. Vaxart almost all out of it. Stick around for the trade of the day. The market is, we're down on the ES at 0.1, but Valeria's not wearing green, but the NASDAQ is certainly green. Randy's behind me trying to hit my head with a mallet or whatever he has. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, thank you, Randy. Trader TV Randy, he does have his own handle as well. So if you want to follow us, you can follow Trader TV Randy. And I want to say, he says dog, or I would say horse. You can follow that as well because it's absolutely gigantic. How heavy is Clyde anyways there, buddy? 160-ish. 160 pounds. Like, that's ridiculous, man. Like, I barely weigh more than that. That's ridiculous. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, big boy dog there. Okay, we still are waiting. There's only 1 minute left to go, so we'll hit the bell soon. Hopefully this can get back upside, man. We are long 33.82. It does go about 20 cents into the money on this. And again, on the imbalance locator, we don't have anything here for AMC. Even if I just sort it, we could try to find some AMC. There it is, AMC. There it is. So absolutely nothing. That's ARCA, sorry, it's right here. That's the imbalance, 1,000 shares. So not expecting much to happen, but this is a decent winner to end the show. Hopefully we'll see that with the countdown coming in about 20 seconds. There's only 30 seconds left in the market. Thanks for joining us today. It's been a good day, man. Palantir running around as well. Draftkings, you can see that's, so good out there, getting out some of that, and we'll hold to see what happens with AMC as now it's just printed right back down again. So we'll wait to see, but here comes the earnings. So AMC, buckle up, guys. Hit that countdown right now.
Here we go. 10 seconds left in Monday. Of course, Randy's going to be on the bell. Someone's lowering that bell. No one's lowering the bell. You'd have to.
Okay,
it's already down. My bad. 2 and 1.
One and hit it.
My bad, Valeria.
And we are all closed right now, so we eagerly now, guys, await something from AMC, so we'll wait to see where it goes. Let's check in on our friend Brendan. The S&P almost got there, my friend.
So close, ever so close, but still a little negative, guys. Here we go at how things ended the day. 0.08 to the downside there for the S&P, 0.28 for the Dow. The NASDAQ did hold on to a slight gain, about the same, 0.2 back higher. Crude was down 3.8% when I sat down this morning. So ending the day 2 and change there, not bad. Crypto is still pretty positive overall, guys.
I would say if you have a balanced and diversified portfolio, you're definitely up on the session. Well, on today's session, probably mostly due to the fact that if you've got like some allocation to cryptocurrencies, you're going to be up. I will, of course, always note that Brazil is positive, so yay Brazil for no reason whatsoever. We do have the trade of the day coming up as well, and AMC is going to be reporting. Not a heck of a lot happening right now, however, in the aftermarket, Sean.
No, I'm still long this name. I just want to see if we do get a little bump upside. I'm waiting to get out here just above 34. So you're talking about 34.50 or so. See if we can't make a nice little run here at the end of the day. So we'll wait for AMC earnings to come out now, hopefully soon. And we'll see where this goes, man. I may just take some out. We're at the 24 right now. AMC, it doesn't look like it's out yet, but we will wait for that. You'll see me celebrate or not on Twitter. Follow us all over there, and we will be happily to engage with you, hopefully, as we go. But the trade of the day is going to be a good one, so stay tuned. I want to give a big thank you to Rob, Randy, and Lucas over there on the 1s and 2s. Thank you so much, guys. Another big show there. Yes, thank you so much. Rob got me a new keyboard here, so thank God it's working great.
I want one.
Enter key working, so that's always very, very important. Small position, yes. So I'm with you, Jude, on this AMC. Let's see where we go from here. But for our whole team, Neil, Miss V, killing it today. Thank you, Miss V, once again. And for Brendan, always looking the most handsome of the bunch. And what can we do about it? Nothing. That is Brendan, as he is just, look at this guy, still working. He's still trying to dig out for earnings tomorrow.
With the hair in it.
He's waiting for AMC earnings, this guy. Here we go.
It's
AMC,
going.
Nice move to the upside here, AMC. For all of us, as you're going to show the screen, okay. For all of us here, AMC trying to go. We'll see where we go from here. 20 more cents, and we got a good trade on. For Neil, for Valeria, for Brendan, I'm Sean, and we'll catch you tomorrow at 8:30. See you guys.
See you guys.